Hey, what is going on, Reef Keepers? Welcome back to the channel. It's been a hot minute since I've done any uploads. Been kind of busy lately, started a new job, and it's kind of been taking a lot of my focus away from doing any YouTube content. The one thing it hasn't been doing, though, is keeping me away from working on my 135-gallon build, which I wanted to just do an update today and kind of share the progress that I've been making over the last couple weeks with that build and kind of where it sits and where I'm going in the future. So let's go ahead and get into the video. Alright, here's the 135 sitting in the same place that we left it. The only thing I've done to it is the reseal. Other than that, it's just been sitting. And recently I've been trying to find an overflow, which I did. The shadow overflow from Synergy Reef. I did get this to replace the Marine Depot one that didn't fit the pre-drilled holes, but this one actually fits right into the holes that are already drilled into the tank. Now I did have to make a slight modification to the tank. You can see this edging here that usually holds like a glass lid. I did have to remove it from this end of the tank. I removed it and filled it with silicone because the shadow overflow was just a bit too tall, just a little bit. It was too tall to fit under that lip, so I had to remove it in order to get the overflow box to sit flush against the glass. Taking a look over on the floor here, we have my 55-gallon sump. I've got pretty much most of it put together. I've got a baffle kit from Jack's Racks off of eBay, the same guys I bought the kit from for the 20-gallon long for the 60-gallon. Worked out really well. I did make some slight modifications with a router, but other than that, it's set up exactly how I got it. Over here will be my refugium chamber right up here in the front. My overflow will come in, drain through the socks into the refugium, and then in the middle I'm going to have my section for the skimmers, and then my return pump section and a little bubble trap right there. And then on the end here, I did drill 2 holes and put 1-inch bulkheads for my drain lines coming in. I got the idea from Me Loves Reef to have the drains coming in underneath the water like that in through the side, and hopefully it'll keep things nice and quiet, and I'll have my emergency overflows coming over the top. Taking a look over here, I have a 40-gallon breeder that I'm going to be using as my frag system. I got the 40-gallon breeder from Petco and the stand, both for half off, $50 for the tank, $50 for the stand. I've got this drilled, and I put that Marine Depot overflow on this tank, painted the background black. I'm also going to paint the bottom black too, because I'm going to go bare bottom on this tank and on the 135 as well. So I got this set up for, like I said, about $100. Turns out pretty decent for a stand in a tank, but I'm going to plumb that in with the 135, so it's all going to be one system draining through the sump, and everything's going to be tied together. Now I still have to figure out how I'm going to set this 135 up. Either leave it as it sits or set it lengthwise against the wall. Now I could leave the 40 there and leave the 135 here and run it as a peninsula style, but I have quite a bit of slope in the floor, and as you can see here by the shims, it's probably about 1.5 inches slope. You can kind of back up here and take a look at it. I don't know if you can see the slope, but yeah, the floor is pretty uneven, and it slopes down towards the drain there on the floor, and you can see how it just slopes. I mean, it's a good 2 inches. It's pretty bad. So I may just move it and set it up against the wall, which would be easier to level out and have it lengthwise there, but I'm not sure how I'm going to go about it yet. So that's the one thing I have to figure out. And quick update on the 60 while we're here. As you can see, let me I'm going to grab a filter here. Don't mind the mess on my desk. And I'm going to grab a orange filter, slide this on. There we go, that's better. So you can see here I've been having an issue with hair algae. The stuff is just, it's everywhere. I can't get rid of it. I got rid of the dinoflagellates, and hair algae took over, and it's been just a pain in the ass since. So I don't know what to do. It's all over the place, as you can see. It's overgrown corals, and just I suck it out every day, and it just keeps growing and growing. I put a bunch of snails in there, and hopefully we'll get rid of some of that, but only time will tell. I'm just kind of ready to get this thing torn down and get it all on the 135. Now, when I tear this tank down, I'm not keeping any of the rock or the sand. I'm just gonna get rid of it and start fresh. I come in here into my laundry room, and you can see I've got all brand new Reef Saver rock ready to go for the 135. So any of the pests that I have in the 60 gallon do not make it into the 135. I don't want to have any of the hair algae or any of the vermitid snails that are covering all my rock. All that stuff can just go away. So that's what's going on with my 135 build and everything else. If you like the video, be sure to click the subscribe button, and until then, we will see you on the next video.